All right, let's dive into Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Now, I know what you might be thinking, an ancient manual for battles, but it's so much more than that. Think of all its wisdom as a single sheet of paper. With just the right strategic folds, it transforms into these incredibly powerful solutions for pretty much any modern challenge you can think of. It's like an origami of wisdom. So, let's start folding. And right off the bat, Sun Tzu just flips everything we think we know about conflict on its head. This quote right here, this is the core philosophy of the entire book. It's not about being the best at fighting. It's about being so strategically sound, so smart, that you achieve your goals without a fight even being necessary. The greatest victory is the one where you never even had to draw your sword. Okay, so you're probably asking, how do you actually do that? How do you win without fighting? Well, Sun Tzu's answer is surprisingly simple. The real work happens long before any conflict starts. See, victory isn't about some heroic charge on the battlefield. Not at all. It's the direct result of careful, meticulous preparation and truly understanding your environment. This idea is the absolute bedrock of his entire system. And his approach is incredibly thorough. He gives us 5 constant factors that you absolutely must analyze. First is the moral law. Basically, are your people with you? Are you all on the same page? Then there's heaven. This means things like timing, weather, the external conditions you can't control. Third is earth, the actual terrain, the ground you're fighting on. Or, in business, this is your market landscape. Then the commander, your leadership qualities. And finally, method and discipline, your logistics, your organization, how you operate. Sun Tzu put it bluntly, he who knows them will be victorious. He who knows them not will fail. And this is the crucial point. This is what it all boils down to. It's not about having the bigger army or the fatter budget. It's about who did their homework better. When you deeply understand these 5 factors, not just for your side, but for your opponents too, you've essentially already decided the outcome. The actual battle is just playing it out. So, if that deep preparation is the foundation, what's the ultimate goal we're building towards? For Sun Tzu, it's all about reaching what he calls the supreme art of war, and that means subduing your enemy with brilliant strategy, not just brute force. It's about winning with your brilliant, not your fists. In fact, he gives us a clear ranking of strategies. The absolute best thing you can do, the highest form of generalship, is to disrupt the enemy's plans before they even get started. The next best thing? Isolate them. Stop them from joining up with their allies. Only after those options are off the table should you actually attack their army. And the absolute worst, most costly, and frankly dumbest policy of all, a direct head-on siege of a fortified city. And he's not just being dramatic. He gives a chilling warning. A general who gets impatient and just throws their soldiers at the walls risks losing 1/3 of their people, and the town might still not be taken. It's a disastrous waste of life, a total waste of resources, and the exact opposite of that supreme excellence he's talking about. So if brute force is the worst option, what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to Sun Tzu's most famous, and maybe most misunderstood, tactical principle. It's all about controlling your opponent's perception. In his own words, all warfare is deception. The logic here is so simple, but it's genius. Look, if you show your enemy that you're strong and ready to attack, what are they going to do? They're going to prepare for it. But if you look weak, if you seem disorganized, you lure them into a false sense of security, and that's the perfect moment to make your real move. And this idea just keeps going. By messing with their sense of space and distance, you end up controlling their movements. You can draw them out, lead them into a trap, and then suddenly appear exactly where they least expect you to be. This is a masterclass in psychology. An arrogant opponent is a careless opponent. By pretending to be weak, you actually feed their ego. You encourage their overconfidence, and an overconfident enemy makes fatal mistakes. Sun Tzu shows us that the real battlefield isn't a physical place, it's inside your enemy's mind. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. We've got the importance of planning, the ultimate goal of winning without a fight, and the method of deception. All of these powerful principles are tied together by one single master key, the one thing that is absolutely critical for success in any strategic situation. So after all this talk about tactics and grand strategy, what does it all really boil down to? What's the one thing, the single lesson that you absolutely have to get right? Here it is, the first half of Sun Tzu's most famous and powerful teaching. It all begins with information, with a deep, honest, and unflinching assessment of both sides of the equation. And there it is. Victory isn't about luck. It's not about being braver. It's a direct result of having superior knowledge. When you truly understand your own strengths and weaknesses, as well as you understand your opponents, you take the uncertainty out of the game. You can act with confidence because you've already calculated the outcome. Sun Tzu even breaks down the odds for us. Know both yourself and the enemy. He says victory is not in doubt. You're going to win. Know yourself but not your opponent? Well, that's a coin toss. For every win, you'll suffer a defeat. But knowing neither yourself nor your enemy, that is a recipe for guaranteed failure. You will lose every single time. Comprehensive awareness is everything. You know, there's a reason we're still talking about this book over 2,000 years later. It's because these ideas apply way beyond the battlefield. We're talking about a tough negotiation, a major career move, a competitive business market. The principles are exactly the same. So that really brings us to the final question, the one for you. Where is your next battle? And how are you going to apply these timeless strategies to win?